feeling? What is the vibe? Let me know down in the chat. I want to know. I want to get to know y'all. I don't want us to be strangers on a screen. Remember, we are building a community here, okay? Grand Rising. Let me know how y'all doing in the chat. Okay, so right now, out the gate, I'm going to go ahead and go into our mindfulness playlist that is on YouTube, okay? Da-da-da-da. Trying to see. There's a video in here that reminds me a lot of the grounding that I like meditation that I lead you guys through, um, which is why I added it to this playlist when I found it because I was like, this playlist, this meditation is very similar to the one that I guide you through, and I've been doing it for years, and it's like, oh, it's like confirmation of what I've been doing all this time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's very interesting. If you've never meditated a day in your life and you want to get into meditation, I promise you there are a bunch of videos in this playlist, the mindfulness playlist, that are guided meditations. Okay. There we particularly use one channels guided meditations a lot because they are very simple and easy to follow along so that you can get in the habit of doing them on your own, right? They're 5-10 minutes long, nothing super crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because you can meditate for 15, 20, an hour, 3 hours, you know what I'm saying, 4 hours, 5 hours, right? My highest time of meditation before I, you know what I'm saying, I just had to move, was 3 hours. So like I understand if you're not there yet, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be there yet, okay? Taking 10 minutes out of your day, uh twice a day, you know what I'm saying? That builds it. Okay, that helps you to build that repertoire so that you're able to get in to meditation easily. Okay. It's the sirens, and then the sirens stopped so suddenly. Okay, hi, how you guys doing? Let me know down in the chat, okay? So yeah, so we have all these different meditations in the mindfulness playlist. So if you are new to meditation, all right, that is for you guys, right? It's for beginners, it's for experts. The mindful playlist, right? The mindfulness playlist has everything from beginner level to expert level, okay? I use everything in there personally myself as well, because it's like, like I said, you want to do a quick 10-minute grounding session, boom, there you go. Get the guided video, turn it on, do it. You know what I'm saying? If you want a longer meditation to do, right, there are binaural beats, there's high frequency music, you know what I'm saying, that those videos are like over an hour long because it's just playing the frequencies that you need to listen to raise your vibrations, right? So you can do that quick grounding, or you can do the really long one. Like I said, my max, okay, right now is 3 hours in meditation. That is my max right now. I hope to one day be do more than that, but right now that is my max. Okay, so I'm not expecting you guys to be meditating 8 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? If you could do a 5 minute, 10 minute here and there twice a day at least, you know what I'm saying, then you're already on the right track. Okay. So we are going to find the one that reminds me of the one that I guide you guys through, like when I do it myself. If we can, because YouTube on my computer acts weirder than YouTube on my phone. Like I can see all 200 videos on my phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, but on YouTube it like caps it when you're in the playlist thing. So let's hope I can get all the way down to where I'm looking at. Alrighty, so welcome in, welcome in. A lot of meditations in here. said guide. No, where's the grounding one? Do I just need to go on their page? Yoga, breath work. Okay, like I said, there's a lot of things in this playlist for mindfulness that found it that are going to help you um on this journey. Okay, these are the things, you know what I'm saying. I wish it was this easy to go find a playlist that I had everything I needed start to finish, you know what I'm saying, beginner to expert level on my journey when I first started, but I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying. So I'm doing that for y'all because it's what I wish I had at the start of my journey. Okay, mindfulness, same with spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom, anything that was pertaining to self-help, evolving self, right? I got a whole playlist on that too, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of different books that you can read to help self, right, to help you evolve, help you grow, help you learn. All right, there almost 300 books, guys, almost 300 books on this, on these type of things, okay, that we have found that are very powerful, and we go over from time to time, right, because it's very important lessons that you do have to learn. I think this is an ad that's not loading, or it doesn't want to load. Weird. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I have these playlists for you guys, right? Because whether you're a beginner, whether you've been on this journey for years, there's still information, there's still things to learn, there's still ways to grow and evolve, right? We're never done on this journey, okay? Like, until you got the power to move in and out of this vessel, you know what I'm saying? You still got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? You still got a lot of work to do. I mean, like, unless you can do what the monks are out here doing, right, in and out of your vessel whenever you choose, okay? I, we got a lot of work to do, right? Okay, until you're out here, you can control your chakra center so much, so well that you can walk on water. You got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of work to do. I'm in that same boat. I ain't stopping until I can do like Jesus did and walk on that water, y'all, because it's all about chakra control, right? Controlling your energy centers in your body so that you are less buoyant than water. Keep telling y'all the cheat codes to life. Cheat codes to how Jesus did it, right? You watched a little too much anime. You know what I'm saying? You also pick up on some things because a lot of time anime likes to spill the secrets too, but if you're not using that third eye in your spiritual discernment, you're not going to pick up on it, right? One of the prime examples is Naruto. Like in Naruto, literally they explain how the chakras work. They explain how if you use your chakras a certain way that you can make yourself less buoyant than water. You know what I'm saying? Like you can actually stand up. Like literally the show goes into it. Okay, the last Avatar, right? The last Avatar, the last Airbender, whatever the words at this point, right? But y'all know what show I'm talking about, right? The Airbender, the last Avatar, right? He also had to go in that show through unblocking and unclogging his chakra centers so that he would be able to do what he needed to do in the spiritual realm as well as the physical realm. There's so many shows, so many movies that tell you exactly how you're supposed to be doing things, right? They even teach you a little bit if you're paying a close attention, right? If this video wants to play for us. It'd be like that. It might be the Wi-Fi. Phone is up here. Like looking for the phone. Like, where's the phone? And thank you, hon. I see. Hold on. Wait. Comments. Come back. Hi, Jamie. Thank you for the subscribing to the channel, joining our Soul Tribe family. Okay. We are happy and excited to have you here, right? So, right now, Dante, we are literally just talking about meditation, chakras, right? We are just talking about how those are going to help you, especially right now, because God is moving proverbial mountains right now. In the energetic world, in the spiritual world, mountains are being moved. Okay, so what's it gonna look like in the physical realm? You know what I'm saying? It's proverbial. Okay, let's remember that. It's not an actual mountain. If God were to move an actual mountain, it'd look like Armageddon. Okay, let's be honest. If God wanted to move an actual mountain, it'd look like Armageddon. Okay, let's chill out. Energetically, okay, energetically, when God's moving mountains, right, there is going to be a physical what reaction to the energetic processes that are happening, right? So in that, we are experiencing great energetic change from negative to positive energies. So guess what? The earth is resetting itself. What does that look like? The earth is going to see some supernatural weather because it's resetting itself, right? It's trying to clear all the dusty, crusty energy out. Why you see some of the storms is hitting, you know what I'm saying? Why you think it hit mostly America? Where all the crusty, dusty energy is at right now. Right? You know what I'm saying? Why it's only hitting certain places, okay, because that's the energy that needs to be cleared out. You know what I'm saying? That's where the energy needs to be cleared out. And as you can see, United States of America is one of the places where we're going to see some supernatural weather because the earth is saying most of the negative energy on this planet is all curated in this one country, not just only this country, because as you can see, there's multiple genos going on at the same time, which has to make you think about the energies that are, the planet was in, okay, the energy that the people in charge were trying to keep the planet in, right? Because why would so many countries be going through similar things at the same time if all the countries weren't working together to keep the energy toxic? Okay, all right. Which is why you're seeing the earth shift the way the earth is, and it's creating these weird weather patterns, right? Making it seem like, yeah, weird stuff is gonna go down. Yeah, it is. It is. The next 5 years, it's, it's about to be a movie. The next 5 years are gonna be a legit movie. Okay, somebody is gonna write down everything that's happened in these next 5 years. Not even just the last 5 years. Let's talk about the next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? This is probably it'll be the longest documentary somebody's gonna create. Okay, all right, because exactly, it's all of us. Exactly. Australia, I have not been keeping up what's going on in Australia at the time. If you do want to go ahead and educate me though, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it. Tell me what's going on in Australia, okay? What are our Australian brothers and sisters doing out there? What's going on with the energies, okay? Because I want to go to Australia so bad. They got crystal caves, okay? Like y'all don't understand. I'm going to Australia just because I want to go in the crystal caves. That's my main purpose for going out there, to sit in the crystal caves, okay? Already, that's the main purpose, trying to go out there for that. But I want to know what's going on out there. If you do, or if I need to look into it, you want me to look into it for you, I can do that too, and we could talk about it later. Right, but a lot of people, a lot of you, you're not too sure about it either. Okay, I will definitely look into what's going on in Australia. What's the energy over there? I know the main focus points are the tyrants of the world, right? The big agitators of the world. That's why the focus is mainly on them and what they're trying to curate. But if Australia's out there doing some weird stuff, I'm gonna look into it. If they are trying to be on the right side of history, then I'm gonna let you know that as well. Okay, so we will see what's going on in Australia. You say you preach to yourself. Okay, I understand. I understand. I understand. No, I understand, hun. Because it's mainly the countries that you're seeing and the countries around them that are being affected, right? But I'll definitely look into that for you because I'm curious too now. Okay, I'm curious too now if this video would play, because I do want you guys to check this video out, because like if you don't want to like go watch the live later and be like, okay, what's the grounding meditation she walked us through, right? And you want something that was similar to that, have a video that's similar to it in the mindfulness playlist. It's just not loading right now for me to show y'all. So I think probably I'm gonna have to put it, if I want it to work, I'm gonna have to pause this for 2 seconds, okay? So they could put the right internet on. Let me see. Personal hotspot. I thought this was touchscreen for a second. This one. Can I just connect? Excuse me. Okay. So it's connected. Okay, welcome back, guys. Sorry, I had to check and see if we put it on the phone hotspot, will it do something else? I wonder if I go onto their page. Okay, hold on. If you go when you go on that playlist and if you go to their actual page, they have a lot. They have a lot of meditation videos, right? Like I said, that playlist is 200 videos. They have like 900 meditation videos on their channel. They're all okay. Very well made. Okay. Sometimes they've switched the voice actor. You know what I'm saying? The person speaking. One is very soothing and very calming, and I like the other girl sometimes, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. I really like the main girl. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just very soothing and calming when she speaks. So I really was attracted to her voice, her energy through these, which is how I found this channel. Anyway, right now, let's see if I use the search bar and look for the grounding meditation. They have a few. That one's 30 minutes. We're not doing a 30-minute meditation. Okay. You say you're playing it, but it's not playing. It is what it is, guys. If it doesn't play, I just like walking you guys through grounding your energy. And sometimes I want to be lazy and just let the computer do it. But Spirit said, I guess not today. Right? So we're not doing that today. But let me see. Oh, it's fine. That is a-okay. I have all these crystals right here. Yeah, this weekend has been a very interesting weekend, okay? Oh, yeah, exactly. I get she's right. You get it. Okay. And you said what was the name of the playlist again? On my YouTube, it's called Mindfulness. Okay. Literally, what I'm always talking about, right? Excuse me. Hi, Amber. How you doing? How you feeling? Today is reserved for those in the Honorary Soul Tribe fam. Okay, so if you are subscribed to the TikTok subscriptions, right, our devotion plans, whether it's the tribal members or the warrior tribe, you do get weekly readings included in that monthly price, right? So 269 your first monthly price, and then you get readings for the rest of the month. You know what I'm saying? So I do that. We only talk about that on Mondays because we got to build world peace. We're building heaven on earth, but it does take a backing and a supporting in the physical realm to do those things, right? I already got all the support I need from the spiritual realm. It's just finding our soul tribe in the physical realm now, right? That's what I have been tasked to do so that we can bring this forth into fruition, okay? Yes, as you should. Oh, good night. And angel number, period. Love to see that 111. Okay. One 1 1. Sorry. Sometimes you get the saying ones and then you start repeating and then you're like, did I say it 3 times or did I say it 4 times? I think I said it 4. But 1 Yes, dear. So much love back to you, hun. And I can't wait to see you again. And I do hope you come back, okay? All right. Hi. And sorry, guys, if I'm like going back and forth like this. There's 2 different chats, okay? Hi, guys. Thready. Am I saying that right? How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat, okay? So, yes. You're at the top. Period. Okay. I love that. So yeah, that is what we do on Mondays. Okay, for personal readings. Okay, um, you just that's how we do it. If you want to DM me for a personal reading, that is fine too. It is $5 or $10. Same on Thursdays, it's $5 or $10, right? For a reading, right? Which I think is it's a good price. I like the price for y'all. Respect for myself, respect for y'all. The price is good. That's what me and God came up with. That's what we're gonna stick with. Simple. But I also think that the $2.69 is a steal. Okay, like I genuinely believe that is a steal versus trying to get a 3 card reading every week, right? That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 if there's a 5th week, right? So $20 versus $2.69 for the month. For the month. 30 days, $2.69 versus, you know what I'm saying, $20 every week. Well, not every week, but $20 for the 30 days for that once a week period, right? Because if you were to get a reading repeatedly, you know what I'm saying, then that is more money. But I don't suggest getting small readings if you have a lot of questions. If you have a lot of questions, then I have a 30-minute session that is way better use of your time, your money, and my time and energy. Okay. Uh, right? Then versus, getting like 5 3-card readings in the span of 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Besides how much has changed and like energetically a lot, but physically how much work have you done in a 2 week period for the whole energetic reading to start saying something else? You know what I'm saying? Unless you are day in day out like Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay, if you're not day in and day out, right, then it take time, chill out, it's okay. Right, you will be all right. Oh, sorry, see my comment. That was funny. All right, but yeah, guys, that's all I'm saying. When it comes to getting a reading from me, right, especially on Mondays, right, it's only gonna be reserved for those in our soul honorary soul tribe family. Okay, Thursday is open to everybody. Alrighty, it's just a cost on Thursday versus if you are Monday, if you get it today, $2.69, right? Next week, you don't owe me anything. The week after that, you don't owe me anything. The week after that, you don't owe me anything. You know what I'm saying? You just get a reading. Simple as that. You get more access to my energy, to my gifts. If you are showing me that you actually support the mission we're on here to build world peace and not, you know what I'm saying? Like it in the sense that you are willing to invest your currents of chi and invest your money into the mission. Okay, now if you can only invest your energy, right, where you're just liking, following, sharing, doing the do, you know what I'm saying, that is more meaningful to me than the money. But at the same time, we're trying to help homeless people. We trying to help the orphanage kids. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to build heaven on earth, right? So we cannot do that without the appropriate funds, right? Free housing for everybody. cost a good chunk of money. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that the kids have homes and they aren't just being snatched out of the street by our government like they're being right now and have been for how many years. Okay, TikTok, don't try to flag my live. But okay, so making sure the kids are protected, that also costs a pretty penny. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure the kids are protected, making sure that nobody is homeless, okay, that we could end world hunger, okay, all of that costs money, right? As much as I hate that, it does, okay? And this is why we have to support each other and build a community so we can do these things, right? That this how this world is set up now is not how the next few generations are going to grow up in it. Okay, simple as that. Because I'm not bringing a child into this world until it gets fixed. Simple as that. Can't be no homelessness, can't be no hunger, can't be basic necessities have to be met, or my child or no divine child of mine will be coming here. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'd rather tell God to go ahead and cut the human experience before bringing a child here. Right? Right? And I do have the divine power to do that. Right? I do have that divine ranking to where if I leave this planet and it don't get fixed, I'm just gonna tell God to go ahead and cut the experiment. Like, there's no point in it. Right? Because unless we can build peace on this planet, what's the point? Hi T, how you doing? Hi Angel, how you doing? How you feeling? What's the vibe? Let me know down in the chat. I get very passionate, but I am very serious, okay? Right? My angels and ancestors won't even tell me who I am in the spiritual realm because they know that my ego might get a big head, right? So they're like, we'll wait. We'll wait because it has a lot to do with if this planet does not change, then my ranking has a lot to do with how this planet will be shaped, right? And how we will go forward with that non-changing. Okay. Like I said, spiritual insight, right? This is a lot of people don't understand. This is really humanity's last chance. Like this is really their last chance. And you know, we can let the wolves, you know what I'm saying, sink their teeth in and not realize that, if we don't get the herd together, right? Because as a shepherd, that's why, TikTok is scared of me. That's why, they don't want my stuff to be seen by so many people because they know what I'm speaking on will stir people's hearts, will awaken people's souls, right? They know it. They know it. That's why they try to, shadow ban me, even though like I'm not even a big time creator yet, know? And it's like, okay, guys, okay, chill out, chill out, chill out. Y'all see that this is the thing. When they're scared of you, they don't want you to see you succeed early on. Okay, which is why I tell y'all over and over, we're building community, we're building a community, we're here to support each other, to uplift each other, okay, to be that shoulder someone needs to cry on, you know what I'm saying? We are doing that for each other so they cannot come in between us. Okay, we don't need them coming in between humanity and us treating each other like humans, right? So everybody's basic needs should be met. They should be met. Maslow was wrong. Maslow was 100% wrong. Okay, we shouldn't even be out here trying to meet our basic necessities, right? When we are literally on this planet to live, right? To learn, right? So how can we do any of that if we are struggling on the streets, right? We can't. And I see your guys' questions. However, I've made it clear that if you are not going to invest in the Honorary Soul Tribe family today, right, then we are only keeping it for them on Mondays, right? If you have a personal question you want to answer today, right, then you do have to DM me for that, right? It's $5 or $10, okay, for the energy exchange, equal respect between energies, right, between our times. All right, so if you are truly interested, just DM me, but on the live, I will not do it today. Thursdays are when I do it on the live, okay? Alrighty, because I want y'all to know I see you guys. I'm not ignoring you guys. I am in the middle of my sentence though, right? So if I'm in the middle of a sentence, then you know what I'm saying, trying to get my attention is you know what I'm saying, kind of futile. I'm in the middle of a sentence. I speak on the energy, you know what I'm saying, God wants me to speak on, even if I'm not reading from the cards, right? That's how my throat chakra works. So if I'm speaking on something, it's because God is directing me to speak on it, meaning I can't always control when I stop in that sentence, right? Because God is wanting me to get it out, right? And so when I do stop and I do look at the comments, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you guys. It's not like I'm sitting here ignoring the comments. I'm looking straight at you guys. I see them. Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep it real. All right. That's how my throat chakra works. If I'm in the middle of something, it's because God wants me to speak on it. Simple. Another reason they're scared of me with 1222. Right? Because they know that I'm directly channeling when I'm speaking and going, especially when I get super passionate, just know it's God talking at that point. Because it's not even me, bro. So like it is, but it's like at that point I'm just channeling everything. Okay. Alrighty. Hi Lusani, am I saying that right? How you doing? Hi Natalie. Hi Brown Precious. Who else said hi? Let's see, because you know what I'm saying. If you didn't say hi, but you just asked your question, then let's rethink our mentality, right? Okay. Okay, because that's another reason if I didn't automatically say hi back, regardless if I'm in a sentence or not, but if I don't automatically say something to you and you only ask me a question, but you never said, hi, how are you doing today, Alea? You know what I'm saying? How are the energies treating you? You're always asking us how the energies are treating us, but how are the energies treating you? Then most likely I'm going to look and I'm going to be like, okay, hi, and then I'm going to move on, right? So can I get a read? Because like I said, we are building a community. If you want to be a stranger on the screen, my live is not for you. My channel is not for you. Right? Okay. I don't want to be strangers on a screen. That's not why we're building a community. That's fake. Okay. Hi Dan Paulus. You know, thank you. I see you over there with the 14 roses. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Love bomb. Period. All right, and the hearts, period. I see you over there, sending all the love back to you, dear. Hi, Kayla. How you doing? How you feeling? Hey, guys. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Thank you for being human in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, TikTok doesn't like me. If when y'all say hi, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? It lets me know that they're not sending bots to my chat. Okay, right? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, hon. Yes. You want up. I'm slang it. You know what I'm saying? Not all the new slang is you know, with me in my head, so you might have to clarify 16. Did I get snowed in? No. Because I knew the storm. Why I got all my crystals out right here. I was going to go into that. What you call it? The storm was never going to be what they wanted it to be, right? Okay, because first off, I posted this on my Snapchat. I was like, wow, while others were panicking, the spiritual community was plotting, right? And what we were plotting, we sparked candles, sage, Palo Santo. We were doing our spell work. We were out here pushing the energy so this store would not be what they were trying to manifest it to be, right? Because they were trying to manifest a whole nationwide blackout, yada yada. We wasn't gonna let none of that into the timeline, understood? So that's why, you know what I'm saying, that's why I canceled Friday's live, okay? Because Friday that we were supposed to do our conscious game night, but I canceled it because I was like, no, we got to do the energetic work. We got to do our jobs. Okay. As light workers, we got to protect, those who are out here sending fear and anger into the world instead of turning that fear and anger into power, right? As a master alchemist, it is my job to redirect fear and anger into power. Okay. So, that's what I was doing Friday night. That was most of my night. You know what I'm saying? Singing, dancing, alchemizing energy, because those are forms of alchemizing energy. Laughing my butt off, because that's another form of alchemizing energy. My ancestors chose a pretty crazy one to do it, guys. They knew I was gonna have a lot of fun. So and I'm here for it. I was like, ancestors, y'all chose the right one, because I'm having way too much fun. I'm having way too much fun with this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you imagine not thinking magic existed your whole life until you realize it did. Yeah. That indoctrination system will do something to you until they realize that you could never be brainwashed. Yeah, yeah. And thank you, Dan. You're so sweet. But no, we didn't get snowed in, guys. So, like, everybody who panicked and went and bought a bunch of groceries, a generator, you know what I'm saying? All these things. And it was like, you should have already been being prepared for things, because you're supposed to stay prepared. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be relying on this government anyway. Like, you're relying on the 5G towers, you're relying on the United States government at this point. You know what I'm saying? In this country alone, you'd think the discernment levels would be there, right? But I could tell you why I started this channel, because I knew the discernment levels were not there, right? And that's why I had to get up on this internet, because I was like, there's no way Trump won. It didn't happen. It did not happen. It was a rigged election. But because of the lack of discernment, the lack of intuitive belief, right, that's why it was allowed to transpire. Okay, there was not enough open eyes, right? And we got to change that. We got to change that, guys. We can't keep allowing that to happen. You can't keep allowing that to happen. He said, am I doing any readings today? I'm doing readings for the honorary Soul Tribe family members today, Dan, okay? So if you join the subscriptions for $2.69 today, it's for an entire 30 days. You get a 5-card reading every week on Mondays. So that's what we do on Mondays, okay? Right? After the first month, it's just $2.99. It only goes up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it's still a 5-card reading every Monday, okay? And if I have to miss the live for any reason, I will let you know if you are on our subscription plan on TikTok, and I will schedule that reading with you, okay? So that you still get your reading, you know what I'm saying? But today is for the Soul Tribe members that are interested investing their energy, their currents of chi, their money into our mission for world peace, okay? Into waking up more souls so that we are able to build heaven on earth, okay? So that is, if you want to join, that is what it's for. If you are a truly devoted member, like for our truly devoted members who know that their mission here is to curate and bring into fruition world peace, then the plan is closer to $10, because you're getting also a free 30-minute one-on-one session from me, okay? Which is usually $50, but you only got to pay $10 once a month and you get it. Simple. I mean, I'm making cheat codes for y'all. I'm trying to make it easy for y'all to have the access y'all need. You know what I'm saying? Without it being super expensive, okay? Because it's just energy, guys. We do the energy exchange. We looking after each other. That's fine. But at the end of the day, like I said, I really rather the follow. You know what I'm saying? If you go ahead and become one of our family members by clicking that follow or subscribe button, I'd rather that, because it tells these corporations that they need to pay me. Okay? That's why. Right? Right? I don't want y'all money. I want these corporations' money because they're the greedy ones who don't deserve it. Okay. Right? It's easier for me to give back to the community if I'm taking from the people who don't deserve the money in the first place. Okay? Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. We're trying to finesse. Keep up. Keep up. Please keep up with me. Take the money from the people who aren't doing nothing good with it so that we can do good things with it. Come on, big brain it, guys. We gotta big brain it. Okay? I understand, hun. I understand. But if I never said that on my mouth, then we cannot assume that, right? If you're sending gifts and donations at this time, it is because, you know what I'm saying, you're loving the vibe, you're vibing with me. If you would have wanted a reading, then we have to explain that to each other, right? So miscommunication, right? But I do things a very specific way because I take tarot very seriously and we're not getting in trouble with the Lord over here, okay? So when I say it's for a gift, then I will take the gift. But if I did not say that, do not assume it, right? I'm not like other tarot readers. Do not assume I'm like every other tarot reader on this app, please. All right, so I will tell you how things work. Just ask. If you go around assuming things and how things work in other people's lives because of how one other person did it, right, then we end up in these predicaments. Okay? Alrighty. Now, I have no problem doing one card, but I'm not going to do a full reading because, like I said, it is purely for those that are investing their currents of chi into the mission. Okay? Hi, Tai Tai. What you doing? What you doing? This is so funny. Okay. Alrighty, because remember, when I do a reading, we have a set of rules, right? Because I gotta make sure you consent on me reading your energy. If you do not consent, okay, I can get in trouble, right? And I'm not doing it. Okay. Had somebody try to message me in the DMs the other day, like, oh, this is all and I had to tell them about themselves. I said, first off, I did not consent to this reading. Right? I did not consent to you reading on my energy. Therefore, I got you, Dan. I got you. I gotta pray in and everything. So give me 1 second, hon. But like, I was like, I did not give you consent to read on my energy. Like, you need somebody's consent. Like I told them, you playing with fire. Do not do that. Right? And they're like, it's okay. No, it's not. This is not a warning. It's a lesson. Okay, because my ancestors are on that behind regardless. Okay, because they don't. I already put that energetic boundary up. Meaning, I'm a master alchemist. I've said this. I have that energetic boundary. If you cross my energetic boundary, it's too late. My ancestors already on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell y'all to consent when I read on your end, because I don't know what you out here do. I don't know if you a master alchemist too, babes. Okay, so I need your consent. Right? I don't want your ancestors trying to beat up my ancestors because they're not gonna win and my ancestors are gonna beat up them. Right? So then it's just that whole beef in the spiritual realm, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? There's no point in all that. Right? When we can clarify it in the physical so that energetically it's represented too. Right? So yeah, don't go out here letting anybody read on your energy, especially if you don't say you consent, okay? Because I don't do it, so you shouldn't either. All right, and they telling you that they can read on your energy without your consent? No, they cannot. No, they cannot. They don't know how the spiritual realm works at all. Okay. Dun. Right. So I'm gonna get your card in, Dan. Let's go ahead and pray in. Do you have a specific question, Dan, or you just want like a general card? Let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and pray in. A lot of different perfume, right? This really depends. I used to be a fanatic Used to be obsessed. Now I just use this ones that I had when I was obsessed, right? Like that's about it. I don't buy perfumes no more. And trust me, I had a lot. Before my spiritual journey, I promise you, your girl had. You see my dresser right here? Most of that dresser would have been full with perfume. Right? So, yeah, I had a problem. Anywho, I call upon our great divine, our most high, our divine ancestors, and our divine spirit guides to give us the divinely accurate messages that each and every soul needs to hear today. Not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear in order to grow, learn, and evolve along their journeys. Please allow me to deliver these messages in a divinely eloquent manner that allows for each and every soul to understand and interpret the messages so that they can be in accordance with your will for their destiny timeline. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. And so it is, Ashe. I picked up malachite. What's up, Spirit? Move this over here. Alrighty. Dear Heavenly Father, Dan would like to know what messages you have for them today. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So it is, Ashe. Alrighty, Dan. Give me 2 cards, Spirit. I might have to put this back. I might be having trouble. Let me pull another card here, because those two kind of flipped out together. But it's looking like you have trouble trusting yourself or trusting things that are coming in. A lot of uncertainty about how to move forward and go forward. Oh, there's the card. Okay. Eye in the sky, higher perspective, another viewpoint. Recognize the interconnectedness mindset. Yeah, you might have to be with those 2 cards also in here. Working on your mindset, okay. Changing how your paradigm is shaped, right? How you view things, how you go about handling situations, right? The other 2 cards were the out of whack psyche. Kind of plays into this, and don't feel like you're being abandoned. But this Eye in the Sky card, this is like our Hangman card in the Oracle deck, okay? Right, and the Hangman is about shifting perspectives. So definitely needing to here. We're not doing a full reading, so I'm not really right with this, especially with things, unexpected changes, twists and turns. Was another card that wanted to flip here. Not this card. Where did I put them together and they stayed together? I fucked through this whole deck. Just trying to see this one card. There it is. Okay. Oh, it was on the top. Wow. Oh God. Okay. And this card says, right, decisions made with uncertainty, dark aspects of yourself, stepping into the abyss, right, the psyche, the unknown, facing difficulties, transformations, right? So facing difficult realities, right? Unexpected twists and turns, right? This is change your perspective, okay? So yeah, so you, like I said in the beginning, with these 3 cards here, this is definitely saying your mindset, your paradigm are in desperate need of going ahead and flipping it onto the positive side, right? Because it's the difference between somebody who is moving out of like healing, right, is when something bad happens in their life, you know, and healing their nervous system, right? When something bad happens, They aren't in a panic energy, right? Like, you know, a flat tire, love that example. Somebody who's healed with a flat tire, and I've seen both because I used to work as a call representative for you know, people who needed help getting their car problems fixed on the side of the road. Okay. And one time I had a guy call me, right? And he was off rip yelling, screaming, demanding, right? Unhealed, okay? Because, you know, cussing, like these are actions of somebody who has not healed their nervous system, somebody who is taking life's hits, you know what I'm saying, and instead letting life's hits to deteriorate how they move as a person, right? So this might have been this person at their worst, but how am I to know that? Because, you know what I'm saying, as another individual on this the receiving end of something I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example of what it looks like when someone isn't healed, right? I was ready to hang up. Okay, why? Because you're cussing in my ear and it's loud. Chill out, right? Chill out. Versus the one couple I had, they were leaving the church. They got a flat tire. It's okay, dear. Everything's fine. It's all right. You know, God got it. You know what I'm saying? That's a healed nervous system, right? Where you ain't tripping when bad things happen, okay? Where you're not allowing that what's going on in your physical reality to mess up your inner world, right? That's the difference, okay? So I'm using that example there to really help you, Dan, to see what I'm talking about. The shifting your perspective, right? Looking from a higher perspective, another viewpoint, right? Especially with all the big surprises and lessons that you have ahead, because you do have these ahead, right? Getting a hold on your subconscious and your psyche is also going to be very important on you for your journey, okay? Not even just you, but in general too. Like a lot of people are in this state right now, okay? So it's not just you, Dan, okay? But it is a state that a lot of people get themselves caught up in, and it's hard to get out of it because you have to look at it from a different perspective, right? From a instead of a glass half empty perspective, you got to look at it from a glass half full perspective. Everything in life, you know what I'm saying? Even a flat tire, you know? Somebody, I know grief is hard for a lot of people, but even making good situations out of, you know, like seeing the good when you lose somebody, you know what I'm saying, that can also help you a lot. Because if you stay in a mentality of doubt, of, you know what I'm saying, of suppressing yourself, of, you know, like there's just a lot of cycles people want to keep themselves in that are detrimental to their health, mentally, physically, spiritually, okay? And you know, that's why I do what I do. But do you have any questions, Dan, or did that all make sense for you? You felt that in your soul. Let me know if I have to go over anything. I'll always like to make sure you guys completely understand, okay, and interpret the message that is needed so that you guys can grow, learn, and evolve, okay? So I gotta make sure, I gotta ask, make sure we're here with it, okay? All right. It's okay to ask questions if you have comments, concerns, you know. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, good. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. All right. Even if it didn't, I would just go over it again until it does. Right? Because that's the energy. I guess I gotta say it another way so that it makes sense, right? And that's okay. That's my job as an intuitive guide. You know what I'm saying? That is my job as an intuitive guide to, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it until your soul fully is like, yeah, wait. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I get what you're saying now. It's not like I'm trying to convince you of the message, right? I just want your soul to understand what I'm speaking on, right? Because if your ego is blocking the message, right, then it's going to be hard to understand, okay? So that's why, like, I might try to rephrase it a different way, because I don't want your ego to be like, that don't even sound like, you know what I'm saying? And trust me, your ego, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't more than we like to admit. Okay. But I hope you do have a blessed day, Dad. And thank you so much for all the loving gifts. Thank you, hon. I'm sending all the love back. Okay. Thank you for investing in my energy and my channel. All right, guys, I gotta keep myself from crying. Okay, moving on. But yeah, guys, so if you are interested, like, Dan has been, supporting the channel. They just wanted a simple reading. That's why I went ahead and did that, right? But if you would like a reading, it today is for our honorary Soul Tribe family members, okay? And if you subscribe, right, you do get a reading today, okay? Am I missing anything in here? Is someone said they turned 9? Julio. I don't know how YouTube. I don't know. YouTube, my stuff is not for kids. What, like, chill. Like, yes, we want to help the kids, but I'm still an adult. Like, we talk about adult things, okay? Okay, so even though I know some of y'all kids be doing things you're not supposed to on that tablet, auntie said go ahead and get off. Okay, your internet auntie said go ahead and get off. You're not supposed to be on this side of YouTube. Okay, nah. All right. He said, "What does Heidi's the sun?" I don't know. I probably butchered that. My fault. But you said, "What does Spirit want you to know about?" It is $5 or $10 for the readings. Okay, if you want a personal reading, right? But today is okay for our honorary Soul Tribe family members. Now, if I see, they've changed so many things on this app. Like, it is genuinely confusing now. Like, it used to be so easy. Now it's just like I gotta like dig and search for things on here to see if I'm looking at the right thing. Like, why do I need campaigns? Screw the campaigns. Where's the stuff that I like put on here? What's going on? No, I think they've always had that one though. No. Okay, this is just a share button. I think this is okay. See this? No. Right? Because it's like I can never find it now. It used to be so easy. I don't get it. No one cares about the new gift series though. Like, I'm just trying. Oh wait, what button did I press? Oh, nothing. Nada. I thought I pressed something. No. It was just that the little picture thing came up, and I was like, what happened? Did I press the one button? I thought I pressed it. Oh god. Okay. No, just got the draw guess. AI wallpaper, playbook, viewer wish. It's like none of this stuff is anything that we need in the live. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. We don't need this stuff. Like, I'm trying to show y'all the subscription package, but there's just not a button for it on TikTok anymore. It's weird because you can still get the subscriptions. Like, you can still get the subscriptions on TikTok. I just don't know where you go anymore. Like, it's so confusing on there now. I don't get it. It makes me sound like I don't know how to use technology, TikTok, when I do. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's my thing with TikTok sometimes, because it's like, this is why I'm so glad God blessed us when they did, because you know what I'm saying? I don't think me and TikTok get along. We don't really get along, and God blessed us by honoring us with the privilege to go live on YouTube right before all this BS with TikTok. You know what I'm saying? And not before the ban and everything like that, but like right before this whole thing with the Epstein files, you know what I'm saying, with all this stuff with how ICE is acting and Israel now owning the TikTok app. You heard me, Israel. Anywho, so basically, right, they've made this app zero, like from hero to zero really fast, guys. Very fast, very fast. Like I said, it used to be easy and simple to use, seriously, and now it's just complex for no reason. Like all the settings that used to be here now don't show up, and it's like those settings are what made the live series easy, right? So I'm blessed. Okay, that the good Lord blessed us to have YouTube live, because there's no way. Like if you TikTok, you keep going down that slippery slope if you want to, but me and YouTube, we gonna be over here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because this is why I put my platform on so many different social medias, because I don't like any of them. Personally, I don't mess with them. Seriously, okay? I just want them to pay me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with any of these corporations. I just want them to pay me, right? That's it. That's it. Because my voice deserves to be heard. Well, the mission we are building here deserves to be heard, right? And I deserve to be paid for what I do every day on this internet, right? So that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to feel that way, right? But if you support me and you support world peace, then you're gonna feel that way, right? So simple. But whatever TikTok going on is whatever TikTok going on. If TikTok be doing some stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying? I told y'all, TikTok doesn't like when I talk about the Epstein files. TikTok doesn't like when I talk about anything about what this government is doing, especially when it comes to child trafficking. Okay. Um You know what I'm saying? I could talk about it all day on YouTube. As soon as I go to get into the nasty, gritty details, okay, TikTok is like, you're spreading misinformation. Am I TikTok? Am I? When the full release of them Epstein files come out, watch your back, TikTok. Watch your back. Okay. Because y'all have been trying to hide these pedos, okay, and get them away with things. So watch your back, TikTok. Watch your back. It was a great concept. It was a great concept until it wasn't. Until it wasn't. Okay. I am not doing SNLs right now. I was trying to see if this thing comes up, because I'm gonna see, because sometimes I have good questions, right? So you guys can get to know me, and then sometimes I have like really dumb questions. So let me see what we can do. Oh, because you have to what? What happened? Swipe to the left to close? Okay. Oh, it brought something up. But hi Vanilla, how you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. How are the energies treating you? So I gotta turn this off then, right? And let's see. Okay, so then if I go here, see, the settings don't even work like they used to. What the heck? Yeah, no. TikTok is literally going downhill so fast. Used to be the first worldwide news outlet that with the least amount of censoring known to this entire planet. Makes you think, doesn't it? Why are all the countries censoring each other? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why is there so much censoring going on in the first place? Right? Why can't we have a worldwide news center outlet like TikTok? Makes you ask a lot of questions, doesn't it? When you see it from that standpoint, because we could literally talk to anybody around the world on TikTok a year ago, right? And their content wasn't suppressed, right? We were seeing all the things going on around the world. It was really big, you know, until right uh last year when they banned the app in the United States of America, and now it's heavily censored. Iron Curtain, anybody? Iron Curtain, anybody? I knew there was always a reason that I was extra into history classes. I like at the time, I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I was really into history when I was younger, right? American Revolution, World War II, my favorite to talk about anytime, right? Because they you know what I'm saying? They are on very specific topics in this world that keep coming back around. You know what I'm saying? The American and now you're like, why isn't the Civil War one of your favorites too? Because it shouldn't have needed to happen. That's my thing. It shouldn't have needed to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why. That's why. That's why I did. I don't. I don't really like talking about it because it should have been. It should not have needed to happen. We should not have needed to go to war against each other for slaves to be free. That didn't even make sense. That part didn't even make sense. That part was like ludicrous to me because what the heck is y'all on? Okay, all right. Because what But the American Revolution made sense. We didn't want to be ruled by the monarchy, these tyrant leaders who wanted to do and take and take and take and take and take and take and never give. That's a fundamental thing that keeps coming up in this world. So it clicked in my head, important. That's an important one. You know what I'm saying? Then World War II. We didn't want someone who is a tyrannical government dictator to be getting and taking and taking and taking and taking and taking whatever they wanted. Yeah. Sound familiar? The US government taking and taking and taking and taking and rarely ever giving. Sounds like it's been a tyrannical government for a while and we just never peeped game because we were so used to writing history as the heroes and as the winners, So we stopped thinking about what if we were the losers. Right? Okay. So it's true because like now if you did learn in the indoctrination system about history, right? You should be able to see the patterns. And if you didn't learn it, then this education system was already messed up to begin with. But it's like you should be able to see the patterns, you should be able to see exactly what's going on in this government. Like there should not be a question to it at this point. And if you aren't seeing that, it's either because you had a bad history teacher, right? You had bad funding to your school, so they couldn't even pay a good history teacher, right? Or the government cut funding because you had a red line area to your schooling district, and so you didn't get funding from the government either, meaning the school couldn't have the funding to pay for a good history teacher. Right, and that history teacher who wasn't getting the good paid from the school or from the government, right, from the state, from the government on both levels, is what? Tired, worn out, exhausted. Want me to teach your children, but y'all want to pay me. So they get cranky, they get upset. Some of them still love doing their job even like that, but some of them don't. Right, some of them have been so drained of being a teacher, like, and having to be in the indoctrination system and not always being allowed to speak on the things that they want to speak on, right? Which is why I think the school system is kind of trash anyway. Like genuinely at this point I'm just using the colleges because I know they have certain information in there that that's how you get access to it, right? And knowledge is power, so that's what I'm saying, just using them. But I would like the system to be free so that I can really get that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, they it's not free because they want to take advantage of you. They want to do whatever they want, take without giving as much. Right? That's why you can be somebody is a big bright sturgeon, right, saving lives, and you still got a whole lot of debt because they want to take before they can give. You know what I'm saying? And it's messed up. It is messed up, and that's why we have to change it, guys. That's why we have to change it. We can't allow this to be what the world is forever. You know, um, that's weird. It's really weird. You know what I'm saying? Because when I look at the older generations, I'm going, you guys had so much time. You had so much time to figure this out before I got here. So much time. So much time. And I understand. It's easy to fall victim. It's easy. This planet is not an easy lesson. Right? It's so easy to get caught up in the matrix. Let's talk about it. It's so easy. Like you will, like your senses are making it's 100% way easier for you to believe that everything around you is real. Right? Like it's making it really easy. Very. I mean, you can see, touch, smell, taste, hear, you know? Like why wouldn't you believe that this was everything? That this was all there was? Why wouldn't you? Right. But at some point, you got to stop thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Because there is more to it. There is more than just these vessels and just this matrix, right? And some people are like, "Oh, I don't want to be in the matrix anymore." Well, let me tell you something. The matrix is what we built around us, right? We built this world around us, this matrix, right? So we actually have to physically dismantle the structures in place. Like we actually have to physically do the work if we want to see the quote unquote matrix unravel, right? Escaping the matrix, right, isn't physically escaping the matrix. Escaping the matrix is mentally and spiritually escaping, right? That's what it means. It doesn't mean you're gonna physically get out of this world. You know what I'm saying? This which is why you need to learn how to balance the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Hey girl, how you doing? How you feeling? But you do, you know what I'm saying? This is why. Because if you're too involved in the physical realm, you're gonna think everything that's here is real. If you're too involved in the spiritual realm, well, baby, you going through spiritual psychosis. You think you're God. Okay, you might get locked up by the people who are stuck in the physical realm because they think you crazy. But you are God though. You know what I'm saying? You are God though. But okay, they go think you crazy. Okay, because you acting kind of crazy if when you are in that spiritual psychosis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you're acting a certain kind of way because you took your ego with you, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot to it. That's why you have to balance the spiritual and the physical, right? This is why we always go over this. This is why we always talking about this because you have to know you cannot take your ego with you. You cannot escape the matrix physically unless you leave this vessel behind forever, right? Okay. All right. We had to clarify those things for you guys, okay? Because I want y'all to know these things. I want you guys to be educated in these things, okay? So you understand how these things work, okay? Now, like I said, we are all learning, growing, and evolving together. Okay. When I learn something new, I'll tell y'all. When you know what I'm saying? If you learn something and you don't know if I know about it, you tell me. Simple. We teach each other. We grow together. We learn together. We're gonna evolve together. Okay? Right? Because I'm trying to take as many of y'all to enlightenment with me as I can. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to take as many souls as possible back to the good Lord, okay? As enlightened souls. Not just no regular soul, an enlightened soul, right? Try to take many. Many back with me, okay? So that good Lord could see that the human experiment was actually worth it. Right? Um I don't know. Y'all shouldn't be disappointing the Lord out here having the good Lord question if the human experiment was actually worth it. You know? And truly, if we not even if that's the only outcome that's happening. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. Y'all gonna be sitting here looking right now, thinking back to when all these times were happening where the government was being stupid, right? You guys are gonna look back, okay, in a few decades and be like, wow, where have the time gone? It was just yesterday we were fighting a tyrannical government. Wow, literally we have peace on earth now. Like all the countries are united, all the nations are one. You know what I'm saying? Every group of humanity, whether their race or ethnicity, are get binding together to create a better world for everyone. You know what I'm saying? That's how we'll be talking in the next few decades, right? This what we're going through right now, it's a thing of the past. It's a necessary thing, because at this point Trump is being used. Netanyahu, whatever his name is, probably butchered it, but they're all going to be used as examples, right? And I'm telling you right now, if they don't off themselves like Hitler, they're going to be used as examples of why this planet should be joining hands together. Okay. Hi, I'm probably gonna butcher your name, hun. Del- Delphine. Did I say that right? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know how you doing. How you feeling? But let me know if I said that right. Okay. But yes, if they don't off themselves like Hitler, they will be used. They will be publicly humiliated first, because you know what I'm saying. They're gonna be used to show the entire world why we should all join hands. Why we should stop pretending like we have separate land and we have separate rules and stuff like this, and we need to actually join hands as one, as a humanity, not as, oh, our nations or our, we need to join on one and have something that helps everybody, not just are very progressive while others are very destructive. Not just some do this and some, no, we have to agree on a system that works for everybody, one that will create peace for everybody. Okay, not multiple different sections around the world, and then the world has to make groups like NATO's and BRICS, because we don't trust the BRICS or we don't trust NATO's, but whole time y'all sipping martinis and doing golf. Like, ooh, like so it's like bro, seriously, they are going to be used as the examples on why this planet should move towards peace, right? um Necessary. It's necessary because apparently, unless y'all see it, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody, but unless people see the evil that was curated on this planet right in their faces, they're not going to think they need to change. They're not going to think this planet needs to change. They're not going to think how humanity interacts with each other needs to change. Unless they see how horrible, how the awful things humanity has allowed to slide under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Nobody seeing it, you know what I'm saying, but God. You know what I'm saying? Only God gets to see this, the horrible things that are going on, but no humans are aware of it, right? And if we're not aware of it, God can't bring judgment on it, because we are God's vessels, meaning that if we see it, boom, that's a physical marker. That's a I got a time, a place, a date where this vessel has seen something, and I'm calling judgment. Where are my death angels? You know, like that's how that, you know what I'm saying? We have to bring awareness to a situation and want awareness on a situation for God to keep bringing these things out. Okay. Hi Queen, how you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat, okay? So yeah, that's what I want y'all to understand. That's what I want y'all to understand. We have to keep paying attention, okay? And we have to keep pushing for the full release of the Epstein files, energetically and physically, okay? Promise you, humanity needs to know what's in it, right? Because I intuitively know what's in it, and I'm not even gonna talk about it but I want y'all, right? Those of you that were really thinking this government wasn't out here doing heinous crimes. I want y'all to see the heinous crimes, the crimes against humanity they were committing. These were not just regular crimes I'm talking about. These are not like in my country, you know what I'm saying? This is illegal, or this is legal, this is legal. This is across the board, across the planet. It's a crime against humanity, right? The things that they've done in those lists. Okay, the thing, it will topple many governments. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And if the people out there who truly don't believe that what's in the Epstein files. Like, didn't you know how many files are in there? You know how many decades of work they did? Decades without the public knowing of the horrific child trafficking ring they had going on. Horrific. Decades. Decades. So you expect decades of files, not to say some really bad stuff. Excuse me. But confirmation, but like, you really expect something that has been going on for decades not to read as the most horrific piece of work. Man, y'all thought um why am I blanking on his name? You know, the author of It, right? The author of It, name I'm blanking. If y'all know who I'm talking about, you can put it in the chat. But the creator that wrote the book It, right, and then they made the movie It, right, because It is kind of like, our kind of real world situation where we have this dark demonic thing that's trying to feed off of, saying the children's light energy and stuff like that. And if you follow me on Threads, we have a good time. We dive into some deeper topics as well as in Discord, right? So Discord threads, you know what I'm saying? We could talk more stuff about what the Matrix is doing, right? Matrix Society, right? The ones who want to keep up this upkeep of the Matrix, right? We could talk about more on those apps, right? Because it doesn't get suppressed, or my live doesn't get taken down for misinformation, because it's so easy to brainwash people into thinking things are misinformation or conspiracy theories nowadays. It's so easy. Like, I watched people will literally just listen because they what I mean, look, prime example. It was so easy to have people go outside, panic, and go buy a bunch of groceries and go buy a generator because the storm, exploding trees. That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. Let's remember that though. That's all they had to do. Let's go. Guys, it's gonna be so bad. That's all they had to do. Right? And people were out there panicking, rushing to the stores so they can get there, be the first one in line, buy all the groceries, get all the toilet paper. Sound like COVID, don't it? Right? Get all the buy a whole generator. How much is the generator? You gonna be spending a cool $5,000. Oh, $5,000? You sure? Yeah, it's a generator. Which one? Go ahead, tap it. I need it. Go ahead. Here we are on Monday. Right? Here we are on Monday after the spiritual community was plotting, right? Because the spiritual community was plotting to make sure whatever they were trying to transcribe never happened. And we also wanted to redirect all of the, people's fear and panic and their anger for power so that we can use it instead of the government using it, right? Because the government was going to take that fear and try to curate something else with it again. Like, you guys, God, we gotta talk about this another time. We could talk about this more in Discord and on Threads. Promise. I could talk about it on YouTube all day, but TikTok, we try it. No, I've talked about it. You can even go ask. I'm gonna make a video because I have it saved in my phone. My conversation with ChatGPT about how they siphon off the collective's energy, right? How they are harvesting people's energy from different various sources like concerts, poems. You know what I'm saying? ChatGPT and me went into some really deep things about sacred geometry and how that was possible, right? So I will post that video, right? Because if you think this government isn't trying to use your energy against you, right? That's how you forfeit your dynasty, your destiny too, right? That's how you That's the only way somebody can get you to forfeit your destiny too, is if they make you use your energy, right? And then they flip it, so now it's working against you, right? That's how someone gets you to forfeit your destiny. Same way how the government goes about trying to get you to forfeit your energy so that they can use your energy for something that you never consented to, but because you fed into it, now you unconsciously gave consent, right? So remember, before you're afraid about something the government's doing, before you're angry about something the government's doing, channel those energies into power, right? You can alchemize it into something greater, into creative power, into standing up, into passion, into throat chakra usage, into, you know what I'm saying? You can create with that energy as long as you don't keep it down here in your root chakra, right? Anger, fear, it's in your root chakra. If your root chakra is messed up, you're in survival mode, right? You're deep in survival mode, and you gotta fix that. Okay. All right, guys. I'll blabble all day if y'all let me. Okay. I love y'all. Okay. We speak love, justice, and peace into this realm because that's what we want to see in our destinies. All right, amen. I'll see y'all tomorrow. It'll be lesson day, okay, for omniology revealed. Okay, I love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. Y'all stay safe, stay warm, okay? Stay prayed up, do your meditations, do your cleansings, drink your water, okay? We don't keep that nervous system in check. All right, don't let them get your jitters or nothing out of whack, okay? Period. They don't control you, you control you. Period. We out. Okay.